If you ever throw up anywhere, it's important to, or whether it's work or school, it's important to tell your supervisor or your boss or manager that you have to go home right away because you don't want other people to get sick. And if you ever have an urge to throw up, it's always good to listen to your body and just do it in the bathroom so then customers or other people don't hear. And you shouldn't always get embarrassed if you throw up at work at any public place, because you just got to remember sometimes it can happen to anybody when you least expect it. Hi everybody, it's Mena. Welcome back to my channel, or if this is the very first video that you're seeing of me, then welcome to my channel. Please be sure to hit that subscribe button down below if you didn't already. I post every day except for Tuesday and Friday afternoon sometimes, and I have Humphrey here right with me, and today I'm gonna do a Humphrey and story time today, and I'm gonna share with you guys an embarrassing story about the time I threw up at work. And this was a story about how I had to go home from my job early one day because I had an urge to throw up, and I ended up actually throwing up in the bathroom, spoiler alert, which was a good decision because I didn't want to do it on the floor in front of a bunch of customers. And I had and then at first I didn't want to do it, but then when my body told me I had to do it, I literally did it in the bathroom, which was the best decision. So this is a story just to teach you guys, if you ever have to your body tells you need to throw up, it's important to do it in the bathroom, whether you're at work or school, and then report to your supervisor or your manager or your boss that you really need to go home because you don't want other people to get sick, which is the most considerate thing. So keep that in mind. If you ever throw up at work or school or anywhere, always report to your supervisor so then you can go home or have someone pick you up if you can't walk home. So I'm gonna get started, and I hope you guys enjoy the story. And also sometimes you also have to remember that sometimes this stuff can happen to anybody, anywhere when you least expect it. So I'm gonna get started, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. So this all started about 3 weeks ago. I had eaten some food from a restaurant. I'm not going to say the name of the restaurant or the food that I ordered just because I'd rather keep that safe. And I ate some food from a restaurant. I noticed my stomach started acting funny. And I'm like, oh, this is weird. So at first I'm thinking like it's a digestion problem and maybe the food's taking a while to digest. So I kind of ignore it. And then at night I'm sleeping and my stomach still feels weird. But I don't have an urge to throw up or go to the bathroom at all because I just didn't think anything of it. I thought my food was still digesting. And then the next morning, I drank a cup of coffee and I noticed my stomach was still acting weird. And my mom's like, are you going to be okay to go to work? And I said, yeah. And because I had work that day at my other job, I had the work at my low waist shop job. And so I was like, yeah, I think I'm going to be fine. And she tells me, if you need to go home, please call me. So I walk over to work. My stomach is still acting funny. So I bring some water with me just in case I need to drink water to help my stomach. So I walk into work and my coworker's there, and she's like, notices I don't feel well. I don't look good. And she goes, are you okay? And I said, yeah, I think I should be okay. I think it's just a digestion problem because I thought that's what it was. And so I go into the back room and I start washing a couple of dishes. I notice my stomach is feeling weird, and I stop for a sec and I'm like, oh my gosh, what's going on? And I really don't just ignore it at first, but then I feel something coming out of me, and I go to the and at first I thought I had to go to the bathroom. So I am at work for like maybe about 15 minutes, and I go in the bathroom. I start throwing up in the toilet, and I literally like, oh my gosh, and I am not feeling good at all. But I noticed I started to feel a bit better when I threw up. So I decide that I need to go home. So I go out, I talk to my coworker and I say, I need to go home, I just threw up. And she goes, okay, go home and get some rest. So I call my mom because I didn't feel comfortable walking home just in case I was going to throw up again. And my mom comes over, picks me up, and takes me home. And so she takes me home and she tells me I need to lay on the couch for a little bit and drink some water. So I drank some water and I noticed my stomach started to feel better, and I was kind of embarrassed because that I had thrown up at work. But luckily I did it in the bathroom and not out on the floor where customers could see. And I felt really embarrassed that I threw up at work. So I go home and then I take like maybe an hour nap or so of a nap, and I feel better, and then I drink a whole bunch of water because I'm hoping the water would help with my stomach, which it did. And I was feeling embarrassed. So the very next time I did go to work, a bunch of my other coworker and my bosses were asking me if I was okay because they were notified that I had to go home, and I said yeah, and I was kind of like, and then I told one of my coworkers what had happened and when it happened, and I told her how embarrassed I was because I thought I was throwing up very loud, and she goes, "Don't feel embarrassed. It can happen when you least expect it." And then I thought about it, and then I remembered, oh, it does happen, because I remember it did happen to me a couple times. Like I remember one time I threw up at school once, maybe when I was in kindergarten or something, I don't know. But I realized I shouldn't be ashamed of that because sometimes those things can happen to other people in certain places, like if it's a restaurant, their workplace, or at school or anywhere. And you just can't let it get to you. So I felt much better once I kind of talked about it and told my coworker, and I got over my embarrassment of throwing up at work. So the moral of the story is, don't be embarrassed or ashamed if you throw up at work, because sometimes it could happen when you least expect it, or any public place, like if you're at a restaurant or if you're at school and you throw up at those places. You have to remember it can happen sometimes. And if you do throw up at school or work or anywhere public, just go home and lie down and you'll feel so much better. And the best you could do is just talk about it with someone, so then you can feel better, and then you won't like let it bother you. And you also have to think this could happen to everybody when they least expect it. So that was the story about how I threw up at work. Well, my embarrassing story about how I threw up at work. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I post every day except for Tuesday and Friday afternoons sometimes, and I'll see you in another video soon. Bye-bye! And now it's some Humphrey. If you haven't already, please subscribe to Mena's YouTube channel and like this video if you enjoy story times with me. And also, do not forget to follow me on my Instagram, which is Humphreys World 007, and Mena at Mena Homburg. I hope you guys enjoyed. Subscribe for more story times with me.